So this struck me last night as I was watching the election results roll in. It's a strategy that Hillary Clinton cannot use in the general election if she wants to beat Trump. Now, a few days ago, Trump said that she's playing the woman card, and Hillary responded by literally creating a woman card with her campaign and then fundraising off it. She raised quite a bit of money off that, actually. And I think that she thinks that she has a winning strategy if she talks about just how sexist Trump is and how racist Trump is. Well, understand something. I'm here to tell you, iceberg dead ahead. That will not work, okay? When Hillary was in a debate with Bernie, going back to, I don't know, maybe the third debate or fourth debate in or something like that, Bernie Sanders went through just a litany of policy problems with Hillary and said effectively that she is the establishment candidate. She's gotten endorsements from various different people in the establishment, and look at her. She took $675,000 from Goldman Sachs in speaking fees, and that's just one example. The list goes on and on of all the money she's taken from the establishment. Hillary's response to that was, I kid you not, I can't believe that Bernie Sanders just said I'm the establishment. I'm a woman. I remember covering that story and just being flabbergasted at how hacky an argument it is that she used. She literally just responded to nothing but policy specifics with, I have a vagina. I have a vagina. Therefore, I'm an outsider by definition because I have a vagina. Yeah, but wait a second. Forget your genitals. Look at your career. Look at how much you've been an insider. Look at how much money you've taken from the establishment and from Wall Street and from financial interests. And look at your track record of returning favors to them. Nope, none of that matters because I'm a woman. Okay, guys, you want to know what that is? That is Hillary Clinton playing the woman card. Now, perhaps the time when Trump brought it up that, hey, she's playing the woman card, perhaps it wasn't in proper context and in perspective, and maybe it was an example of when she wasn't using the woman card, so he was wrong to point it out in that particular instance. But has Hillary Clinton played the woman card? You bet your ass we've covered multiple stories where she's done that. So, if Hillary goes into a general election and she makes the same, and Trump parrots some of Bernie's correct arguments against Hillary, and Hillary responds the same way she responded against Bernie and says, what do you mean? I'm not at the establishment, I'm a woman. That will hand the election over to Donald Trump. The American people are not stupid. They're going to look at that and go, you're insulting my intelligence. Fuck you. Guys, it's not just with this issue either. It's with all identity politics bullshit. And that's what the Hillary campaign is based on. It's neoliberalism. So it's be center-right, pro-corporate, pro-establishment, be a total and utter sellout, but hijack identity politics to try to get silly people on the left to vote for you. And that's where we're at. And guess what? That is definitely not going to fly in a general election because the overwhelming majority of the American people are going to go, no way. That's disgusting. Whereas what'll Trump do in general? He'll start talking about how her Iraq war vote was bad. He already did, talking about you shouldn't have done Libya. Again, against intervention, he's portraying himself as. All the outsourcing deals were stupid. She was for TPP. She was for NAFTA. I'm against it. You go down the list. He'll say she's bought. I'm not. So he's going to be focusing on policy substance if he goes down that road. And Hillary's, how can you say that? I'm a woman. That is a recipe for disaster for Hillary Clinton. Now, I'm going to go a step further here, too. If Hillary Clinton not only just plays sexism angle the entire time, but also if she starts talking about race, it'll actually hurt her. Now, why is that? Guys, it's not like if you talk about race, you're guaranteed to lose a general election. Of course not. The thing is, if you talk about race, you have to do it in a constructive and accurate way. You know who does that? Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders says, look, I just want everybody to know that black people and white people use drugs at similar rates. Black people are arrested for it 4 times more often. White people and black people, white people are more likely to sell drugs than black people, but black people are more likely to get arrested for selling drugs. You know, Bernie's liable to say something like what we just learned. Hey, one of Nixon's top aides said that the whole point of the drug war was to police the undesirables and lock up, white liberals, hippies, and people from the minority community because they're not for us. So if you have Bernie making those arguments, people listen to that and they go, that's reasonable. He's giving me facts. He's giving me data. And he wants to fix those things by, for example, legalizing weed, something that 58% of the American people want. So that's talking about race in a way that's constructive and fair and accurate, and it would help him win. What does Hillary Clinton do? We saw her do it in the last debate. She was asked, well, what are you going to do about the African-American female lawyer? What are you going to do about, the systemic racism I experienced when I was getting into my position? She basically said, well, we're going to do a few things. First of all, we're going to talk about it. And white people like me need to realize that race is still a tremendous problem. And then we're going to talk about it some more. And then we're going to talk about it. You didn't give any policy specifics. You just said, let's talk about it. And on top of that, you said, white people like me need to recognize that this is the issue. No. When you frame it like that, the majority of the American people, white people, are going to go, why are you blaming me? Now, again, when Bernie talks about race, he's just accurate and he's just correct and he's giving facts. And when white people hear that, they don't think he's attacking me. They think, oh, he's just giving facts and how we can fix these issues. When Hillary talks about it, you get the sense that she's like, white people, white people like me, we got to acknowledge all this stuff and we got to talk about this. Let's talk about race more. Let's talk about race. That's not a constructive conversation. If you just want to have a conversation about race and say, white people, they're the problem, that's not going to fucking win you an election. Every single way she can blow an election, she's poised to blow it. She'll only talk about sexism. She'll only talk about racism. She'll only talk about his xenophobia. By the way, those things are true and they're accurate about Trump, but the way she talks about them does not pierce through because she talks about them in a stupid way. Whereas Bernie is much more likely to focus on policy specifics and give data and say things that are convincing. Hillary, all it is everything is a ploy. Everything is a strategy. None of it is real. None of it is, hey, here's what I think and here are my policy solutions. It's just, I want to push the buttons to try to get me elected. And she's trying to do it from an identity politics angle that will not fly in the general election. And it's right that it doesn't fly in the general election because the American people have issues. They have issues with healthcare. They have issues with the economy. They have issues with literally losing jobs in outsourcing deals. They have issues with spending over 50% of our discretionary budget on war. And all this shit Hillary sucks on. And then she's going to come out there and talk about how I'm a woman, so I'm not the establishment. Bottom line is this. If Hillary runs a PC-Outrage-based campaign, which she very well may do, she will lose. She will lose. And Donald Trump, he'll portray himself as anti-PC. Total bullshit because he actually is super PC. Because anytime anybody calls him out when he's factually incorrect, he gets all outraged and offended. So he's also the PC police. But he will portray himself as being against PC nonsense and a straight shooter. And Hillary might walk right into that trap. So yet again, reason 14,782 why Bernie Sanders should get the nomination because he crushes Trump by a landslide in virtually every poll as to what would happen in the general, and you take away Trump's biggest appeal, which is his anti-establishment straight shooter persona. Because Bernie actually is anti-establishment, and he actually is a straight shooter, unlike Hillary Clinton.